Let's talk about Static Shock. You know, the early 2000s cartoon that gave us a teenage superhero dealing with real-world issues while zipping around on a trash can lid. It wasn't just a show about superpowers, it tackled heavy topics like racism, gun violence, and mental health. But one episode, in particular, stands out for how it hits you right in the feels: Frozen Out. This isn't your average holiday special. Sure, there's snow, parties, and the usual festive vibes, but underneath it all is a deeply emotional story about homelessness, isolation, and the importance of compassion. So grab a hot drink, get comfy, and let's break down one of the most memorable episodes of Static Shock. Don't worry, I'll sprinkle in some laughs so we're not crying the whole way through. The episode kicks off on a picturesque winter night. Snowflakes are falling, the holiday spirit is in the air, and Static, aka Virgil Hawkins, is out doing his superhero rounds. And honestly, this guy is stretched thinner than a string of Christmas lights in February. Virgil's been invited to a bunch of holiday parties, including his friend Frida's Hanukkah celebration. But duty calls when a neighborhood power outage suddenly strikes.
Christmas, New Year's?
What's this? Hey, Arthur, pay the light bill, will you?
Of course, Richie, Virgil's self-appointed sidekick and part-time backseat superhero, is immediately suspicious. "It's just a power outage, Richie," Virgil says, probably wishing he could enjoy 5 minutes of downtime. But nope, Richie insists it could be a crisis, so Virgil reluctantly checks it out. At the power plant, things get frosty. The pipes are frozen solid, thanks to an ominous layer of ice that no one saw coming. Virgil melts it down with some creative use of his electricity powers. Side note, since when can Static just microwave ice away? Who does he think he is? But whatever. Before he can catch his breath though, he's attacked by ice stalactites. Or are they stalagmites? Wait, do they even count if there's no ceiling or floor? Anyway, our frosty foe finally appears. A blue-skinned girl with a tragic backstory written all over her face. But Virgil doesn't connect the dots just yet. This girl, who later calls herself Permafrost, asks Static for help. But she's scared, vulnerable, and lashing out. Static, being the well-meaning but slightly oblivious hero he is, overlooks her obvious need for help.
Look, I'd like to help, but now's not a good time, okay?
Instead, he focuses on the immediate chaos, which, to be fair, is understandable when ice missiles are flying at your face. Permafrost's design is striking. The pale blue skin and white hair make her look like Elsa's rebellious cousin, but instead of letting it go, she's holding on to a lot of pain. The next day, Virgil spots Permafrost again at the mall. She's clearly out of place and mumbling to herself. A clerk rudely tells her she doesn't belong, which triggers a meltdown, literally. Permafrost freezes everything in sight. This scene hits hard. Her whispered words,
No, I don't belong. I don't belong anywhere.
Reveal just how much rejection she's faced. It's a gut punch, made worse when you realize how society has failed her at every turn. Static intervenes, but Permafrost escapes again. And this time, we get a flashback into her life. A once happy girl whose world fell apart after her mother's death. Left with a neglectful stepfather, she ended up on the streets. It's heavy stuff for a Saturday morning cartoon. Back at the community center, Virgil and Richie are helping out with a holiday food drive. And let me just say, Richie's attitude this episode? Peak annoying. He spends most of his time whining about the volunteer work while simultaneously telling Virgil how to do his job as a superhero. Like, bro, pick a lane. At one point, Richie even suggests using Virgil's powers to make the work easier, because nothing says holiday spirit like breaking the law for convenience. This episode also introduces Reverend Anderson, who partners with Virgil's dad for the food drive. The Reverend gives Virgil and the audience a sobering reminder about homelessness. There are over 7 million homeless people in this country, he says, and many of them are kids your age, or younger. It's a powerful moment that underscores the episode's message. Homelessness isn't just a statistic, it's a reality for far too many. Static eventually tracks Permafrost to an abandoned cable car depot where she's been living. The setting is bleak, with broken down structures and flickering lights. Virgil finds a photo of Permafrost and her mother, but before he can process it, she shows up, furious that he's stolen her only keepsake. What follows is an intense battle that highlights Permafrost's instability. She's not fighting because she's evil, she's fighting because she's hurt, and that distinction makes all the difference. The episode's climax takes place at a church service, where Static finally reaches out to Permafrost. He returns her photo and offers her something she's been denied for so long: compassion.
Nobody cares about me.
Whoa, come on, slow down. I care. And I want to help you. I know what you've gone through.
This scene is beautifully done. Permafrost breaks down, admitting she feels invisible and unloved. And Static responds not as a superhero, but as a friend. "You're not invisible to me," he says. And man, if that doesn't hit you right in the feels, check your pulse. Frozen Out is more than just a holiday episode. It's a lesson in empathy. It forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about homelessness and mental health, while reminding us of the importance of kindness. Static isn't perfect. He misses the signs of Permafrost's struggles at first, but by the end, he shows us what true heroism looks like: listening, understanding, and being there for someone in need. If there's one thing this episode teaches us, it's that everyone deserves to be seen and heard. Permafrost's story is heartbreaking, but it's also a call to action. Whether it's volunteering, donating, or simply being kind, we all have the power to make a difference. So, what do you think of Frozen Out? Did it hit you in the feels like it did me? Let me know in the comments. And hey, if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into your favorite shows. Until next time, stay warm, and maybe lend a hand to someone who needs it.